Hi, Patty here from the Grounds for Discussion podcast, coming to you from Streetside Studio 7, located inside Deja Blue House of Coffee in downtown Alexandria, Minnesota. Before I get today's episode underway, I do want to say that we are sponsored today in part by Exquisite Soaps and More. This is a wonderful body spray that they have in store. It is just 2-3 doors down from us right here in downtown Alexandria. Stop in and give them a try. All right, so today I'm excited to have Kari with me from 6 and Broadway.
Yes.
Hi, Kari. Welcome back.
Patty.
We did do an intro video, which I'm sure you've seen by now. So let's talk a little bit about your background before we get into you owning a business downtown Alexandria.
Okay.
So what is your background?
Well, I have kind of an interesting background. It probably doesn't fit what a lot of maybe business owners would have in downtown Alexandria or other small towns. But I'm originally from this area, and I grew up here, and I went to high school here, and actually met my husband here, my high school sweetheart.
Oh, sweet!
But after high school, we both went off to college, and I went to the Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs, and so I was there for 4 years, learning and training how to become an Air Force officer. And did that, and then upon graduation, I became an aircraft maintenance officer. So I was working on the KC-135 mid-air refueler, which, if you're unfamiliar, and I know I was back in the day, it's like a mid-air gas station for military aircraft. So these planes are constantly flying, and
that's pretty wild.
It's a big logistics deal.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, so that was good. That was a fun part of my life. But my husband and I also wanted to have kids and do other things. So I separated after my commitment, and we were in Spokane, Washington at the time. I stayed home with my children then for about 12 years, I think it was. So I was a stay-at-home mom for a long time. And so there was this kind of a gap in there, and I had to try to figure out how I was going to rewrite my resume and try to get myself back into the workforce. So I had done a couple things while I was at home doing some tax preparation and also working with women on weight loss. I was a Weight Watchers leader for the company.
Sure.
So I did understand that, and I kind of grew to really love like women and some of the issues that they have and some of their body image issues. And so I decided eventually to go into a program to get a master's degree in counseling. And I did that for a while and realized that it just wasn't fitting with that time in my life. And also recognizing too that once I became a full-time counselor, after all that training was done, it would oftentimes probably have me working into the evenings, which I really wanted to avoid because I had children and a family. So then re-looking at that again, I decided to look at areas in education. So I got a job as a school secretary. I was a principal secretary in a school district for an elementary school, and I did all of their budgets, and I did a lot of like community communication, letters. It was a really good learning experience for me. And so just to say all of that, I think those pieces that I learned through all that budget training and all of that tracking of spending and where the money goes into these different pockets, and then ordering. I was also in charge of all ordering and resources for the school. So that was a lot. And then, of course, my background working with women and just my love for women. I have a heart for them and their pain, and I know how that feels, and I definitely wanted to do something to help women. So all those things together brought me to an opportunity to buy a business that was being sold in downtown Alexandria. It was the Garden Gallery. For those of you from the area, you maybe remember, Vicki Stans had that store for 23 years, and I saw that it was going out of business. So I just called her one day, and we started a discussion, and I really felt like it would be an opportunity for me to use some of my background as well as putting my heart towards the care and focus on women. And that is what brought me to the business. So it was not because I thought I could make millions of dollars or because I wanted to, be a huge success, although that would be great if that was the case. But I like clothes, and I do love people, and I wanted to bring that encouragement and light into my hometown.
So, Kari, I find this fascinating. I did not know. I mean, I knew that you had military background, and you pulled together all of your training, but the one piece that really stands out is your desire to help women.
Yeah.
And how that really impacted you doing the Weight Watcher leader.
Mm-hmm.
Now it makes sense.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
for me, knowing you and knowing that you
Uh.
truly have a passion for helping women for what you do at the shop.
Yeah.
Now, there's one thing that you said, that you're not making millions. So tell me, tell our
Yeah.
viewers, what has the downtown experience been like for you?
Yeah. Well, as a newer business owner, now I've been in business for 5 years, and you may have heard, and I'm sure other business owners would say, that the first 5 years are pretty difficult, and they definitely were for us. You have a lot of loans that you're paying on, and you are, in my case, kind of rebuilding a business. I bought the previous business, but she had quite a few customers that were moving on, aging out, and I had a lot of work to do to rebuild that. So, and I rebranded the store. So there was a lot of work to do, and had a whole new staff. Not paying yourself for many years was definitely a situation that I experienced. And then not only that, but unfortunately, I bought the business in January of 2020, and COVID hit us in March of 2020. And in addition to that, if that weren't hard enough, in February of 2020, we had a fire in downtown Alexandria,
Right.
which you remember.
I do remember that. That really kicked off
That was
a dark time.
A very dark time. So
for
I bought this
downtown.
brand new business, and then I had to come to a screeching halt, and then there was no income for a while. So, and it was tough because other businesses, which I'm sure you had been in business for at least a time period prior to that.
How long would you say we were? So Sean's behind the camera, in case you guys are wondering. I'm not talking to the wall.
Were you guys in business a few years?
3 years, maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So you had a little bit of time under your belt, and for us to not have any time at all, and then to go into that and have to withstand what happened with the fire. We were downwind, so we ended up having smoke damage in our building, which in hindsight was a blessing, because we got a lot of things, painted, cleaned, repaired. All of that was a really good thing, but it just took time, and we weren't able to open, and then COVID. So
What an obstacle you faced right away,
it
Kari.
really was. It definitely was. So I definitely understand the pain and the fear that comes with taking a big risk and putting, we put a lot of our family's finances into this, and we sacrificed from our end and sold things so that we could buy this, and then for that to happen was really hard. So we were able to work with the Small Business Administration on some loan options, but none of them were good, and none of them were easy.
Right.
And we had to pick one. So
did you find questioning yourself, what have I done? Oh my gosh, are we going to be able to survive this?
I absolutely did. Yes. And I did wonder many times if we could survive it. But I will say that, just walking that walk every day and knowing, I really felt like this was a opportunity for me. It was a blessing for me to be a blessing to others. And I wanted to do that, and I wanted to continue to do that. So I just kept pushing, and I know my family would tell you it was a really dark time for all of us. Right. With mom being home so much prior to that, I had a few jobs, and I did work in a school full time for a few years, but really my home was able to really be a priority for me. And after that, it just like everything just went to the wayside. I was like 95% focused on making this business succeed, and it literally almost killed me. Just like physically,
I totally understand
mentally, emotionally, there just were so many difficult things with that. So, and I don't tell you guys this because I want to gain sympathy. That's not it.
Absolutely not.
It's just that is what it was. And I do hope that people do recognize that small business owners are really on their own. There is, other than, some options that may happen in large times of peril, like what happened with COVID, there really is there's no backup. There's no, there's no fund backup. And oftentimes you're giving up a lot. in your family.
You're absolutely right. So today I happened to talk to an individual who formerly worked for the SBA, and we were having a conversation about business and how hard it is. And she actually mentioned how difficult it is to actually get a government loan. It's not as easy as people think. You have to have so many of your ducks in a row that many small businesses, she said, throw their hands up and don't even try.
Yeah. Yeah, and I definitely had my obstacles too at the beginning, maybe even before COVID, just going through the process of, talking to different banks and we were able to get a couple different loans so that, because, it didn't all come from one source. And so, when you buy a small business like mine, we've had to purchase the business, but on top of like that and the fixtures and the furniture and stuff that comes along with that, we had a whole bunch of inventory that we had to buy because we've got to, fund the clothing that sits in the store. And you're aware of all this. So there were a couple different loans that we had to try to figure out. And, then having those huge loan, what's the word? Just the weight of the loans going into that first 5 months and not being able to sell anything was just incredibly stressful.
I do often say that a brick and mortar is a heavy, heavy weight. And I don't think most people understand all of the different obstacles we have, all of the different moving parts. And I'll share something with you. I had a customer today, not from here. She was actually from Virginia. And she mentioned that I was admiring her Adidas tennis shoes. Very cute. I'm a sneaker fanatic, and of course I noticed them. And she said, "Oh, I bought them online. I don't shop in stores." I know. And I thought, oh my gosh, my heart, that hurts so much.
Yeah.
And you and I have had this conversation that the landscape for business has changed so much that people.
And you know what? I would bet $100 that customer had no idea that what she was saying was hurtful.
At all.
And not that it's hurtful. It's just that it is in the long run. That's a really hard thing for small business owners to overcome because of the convenience factor that comes with online shopping. And as as a consumer myself, we order some things online too.
Absolutely.
So you have to, as a consumer, we're speaking to you for the small business owners, but we really do encourage you to think as a consumer, how can I spend the majority, or at least the things that I can get locally? How can I do that so that I can continue to keep our local economy running? Because when people don't do that, they really don't realize how significant that becomes over time, how harmful that is to the local businesses.
I also think about it from the perspective of something as simple as the pair of tennis shoes that she'd ordered online. And yes, they're so cute. And there's an employee somewhere at a DSW at some shoe store that may lose her job because there's no in-store traffic anymore. And we've seen that not only at our mall here, but the mall in St. Cloud down the road, so many of the shops close. And so I am intentional, and probably more so because I do own a small business. In whatever I can get in store, I will do that. Kari, I do want to ask a little more in depth about your business and what it is that you have at 6th and Broadway. I'm going to plug it again, 6th and Broadway, right here in downtown Alexandria.
Thank you, Patty,
You're
for
welcome.
asking and for saying that. 6th and Broadway is a women's clothing boutique, and we sell upscale clothing to contemporary women who really kind of like that fashion piece. There's a lot of traditional things in the store, a lot of classic pieces, but then, we do offer some things that just kind of have that little added oomph, whether it's a special, cut of a dress or a color. We really like a lot of color in our store. That's maybe one thing that customers notice different about us, is that we do invite color, and we love that. We're, we're kind of on the opposite side of a lot of businesses now, which are very neutral and very white and gray and brown. And, we want to celebrate the beautiful colors that are out there, but we do have some neutrals too.
So So speaking of colors, you guys have a service where you provide a color analysis for?
Yes. Yes, so that is something that we started as another way to bring in some revenue to our business, but definitely in line with the heart of wanting to serve our customers. And so we found this program that is called Style by Color. And the gal who started that, her name is Sherry Brendel, and she has been in the color and makeup industry for 35 years, also involved in fashion. She built this system herself after teaching about color. Back in the day when it was like the 4-season color system. And then at one point they morphed it into 12. And that got really confusing. So she took this system and built it back into something that was more understandable. There are now 6 color codes through her system. And part of the things that we try to educate customers on is we look at your hair color, your skin color, your eyes, as well as the contrast level of all of those naturally occurring parts of your body. So if you look at Patty and I here, we're very different in our contrast level. So Patty has very dark skin, very dark hair and deep colored eyes, but kind of medium to light skin. I, on the other hand, have kind of medium to light skin, kind of medium to light hair, medium to light eyes. So I'm all kind of like, my contrast is not very big. I kind of have a low contrast.
So what would be a color for you? Like, that's Kari's color.
So for me, colors that work well for me are more on this like softer palette. So some of these really stark things that are like zebra print, like that's too much. I need to be a little bit careful with even the patterns and the combinations that I have. Like even on this jacket, this is probably as bright as I would want to go. A little bit more muted is better for me. So like pinks, corals, some blues and green hues that are just a little bit more on the softer side. Whereas you, because of you have so much contrast, you are like one of the color codes that you would fit into. I use a Disney character to describe, and I tell customers that Patty would be like Snow White. Okay, Snow White is the classic example of someone with very, very light skin, and you're probably medium to light skin, but very dark hair. And so that contrast is really big. So for you, you can wear more contrast in your colors and in your outfit. So you would look great in a zebra print.
How fun.
I know. Whereas that to me is a little overpowering. I would look a little better in maybe like a leopard print, which has colors that are a little bit closer together. So anything for you that would be bright, any of these deep reds, this color that you're wearing is really beautiful on you.
Speaking of this color, I got this top over at 6 and Broadway. It is the Liverpool brand, and I absolutely love it. I also have pants on by Liverpool, which I of course got at 6 and Broadway. And I've had them for a few months now, and I wash and wear and wash and wear. Now, what I love about these pieces is that they are what we like to call investment pieces.
Yes.
They're pieces that you can wear a couple times a week if you wanted to, and change your top layer, cardigan, jacket, denim. And Kari, I know that some of the things that at least I struggle with are the amount that people maybe want to spend at the cash register. But these pieces truly will make your wardrobe go a long way.
It will. Yeah. So, I will even say I have a customer who comes in maybe once or twice a year. She's not from the area, but she loves our store. And she comes in and she knows I'm going to spend a certain amount of money. This is my budget. And I'm going to basically upgrade the things that I need for my wardrobe for, the next 6 to 12 months. So she's looking at these quality pieces that she knows she's going to wear. And we love to help her with that. That's really kind of the heart of what we want to do, is to help you build your wardrobe. You don't have to buy it all at once either, like she does. That's just one way that somebody does it. But, building in less clothing, but better quality pieces. That's probably the way that I would say it, is we're trying to help you to see the value in that, and to see the value in spending a little bit more up front, so that they'll last you longer and you won't need to take as much time replacing them. It's not as big of a hit on the environment. So there's a lot of good reasons to do that. It's easier when you have pieces that too, and you're not constantly switching them over. You can mix and match them easier.
So your staff, And you will work with the customer then in building that wardrobe?
Absolutely. Yes, we love to do that. I mean, even if you have something at home and you don't know what to do with it, I have customers that do that. I got this skirt that I need.
So they'll bring it in?
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
Yes, definitely.
Oh my
We
gosh.
want to help you with that. So if you have a piece that's important that you love or something that you just want to continue to wear, let's build on that. Let's make something really cute and different with what you currently have. Patty, we were discussing a little bit earlier about our different heights, and Patty is on the petite side, and I am definitely on the tall side. So I'm 6 foot tall. So there's a definite range there in inseam lengths, and it can become a bit of an issue when you're trying to find clothing. So that's another thing when I started my business that I really wanted to do, was to give customers the opportunity, no matter how tall or short or what specialty size you were, that we could get it for you. So we not only have a petite section, we have a tall section, and we also have a plus size women's section. None of those sections are particularly huge. We can't make them huge because we just don't have that much turnover, and I wish they were better. But what we can do is offer you the brands that we do sell, like Liverpool and Nick and Zoe. These brands also make things in petites and women's sizes. So if we have them in the Missy regular sizes, chances are it's probably available for you, and we can special order it for you in your particular specialty area.
So Kari, I'm gonna swing back to the color analysis. Someone can call, make an appointment, and
yes,
you guys will take care of that for them?
Yep, there's a couple different things you guys can do. I would first of all say, if you want to get some details about the process and what the different services are that we offer, you can go to our website. It's 6thandbroadway.com. That's SIXTHAND Broadway.com, and click on the tab that says services, and that will outline all the different services we do. There's like 3 or 4 different services that we do for color and color analysis, and then there's a whole separate group of services that we do for image consulting and style consulting. And some of those things that are really fun are this opportunity to come in, learn about your body shape, figure out, well, what is my body shape? And what are the best styles for my body shape? I can tell you based on your height, your size, there's a lot of different factors in there, but I can tell you which necklines are going to look best for you. I can tell you the hemline for your pants. I can talk to you about whether or not you should wear a belt, or how you should wear a belt, how to dress yourself with a scarf, whether or not you should wear gold or silver jewelry, or maybe both. What color should your purse be, right? I mean, and your accessories. These are all questions that I think a lot of us have, and we don't know the answer to. But the system that I've been trained in through Style by Color has taught us so many things, and we want to teach you so that you can dress yourself as well and learn how to do this. It's really fascinating.
It really is, actually, and I'd like to take one of those style, personality, why you dress the way you dress. I think I'm gonna have you back on the show.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go over the results and see if it's anything like what I think.
That would be really fun.
Yeah, very fascinating.
Yeah.
So I learned about the color analysis at an event you had at 6B. Do you do events out in the community or just at the shop?
We do them both. So we oftentimes will do fun things in the shop. Some of the fun stuff that we'll do is, we have a trunk show every July for Joseph Ribkoff, and the rep brings in her entire fall collection, which is like 600 pieces of clothes. And they're just this sumptuous, wonderful fabrics and all these great different styles. And that's your opportunity to come and order something specifically for you in your size. It's so great for me too, because then I don't have to guess at what pieces you guys want and bring in the store. You get to pick from the collection, and you get to order the size that you want. So, and the color that you want. So that's a really fun event. And that is usually in the month of July. But we're always doing things in the store. There's always something going on. One thing we're doing in the community that's coming up in the months of February and March is we are partnering with the Starling House, which is a new VRBO type bed and breakfast type place in Alexandria. And we're going to be hosting an event there. They're going to provide food and appetizers, and we're going to have a 2-hour event. 1 hour of the 2 is going to be spent on color analysis. So everyone who comes will get individualized color analysis. And then the other hour, we're going to talk to you about your style personality and go through a workshop with you so you can figure out what your personal style is and why it is the way that it is.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I think
it's
I'm
lots
going to
of
get
fun.
myself a ticket. So the first event is February.
Patty, I didn't come prepared with
I'm
that
sorry.
date. That's
You know what?
okay.
Follow us on social media.
Yes.
Kari's got it posted out there, I'm sure.
Yes, absolutely we
Yeah.
do. We
Yeah.
are actually 6th.and.Broadway on social media.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
So I actually am looking forward to that. The Starling House, new little Airbnb.
Mm-hmm.
Is it located near downtown?
I think it's on Cedar Street. I
Oh,
think it's
good.
it might even be like 6th and Cedar.
Mm-hmm.
So it's right next to, for those of you that are familiar with Alexandria, it's right across the street from the Marion Building. And it is a white house that has been privately owned for many years. So it's a beautiful, like one of those big old houses that's been in kind of that Cedar downtown, that Cedar Douglas home group of homes that are just really lovely.
Mm-hmm.
And this will be your chance to get in there and check it out.
How fun.
Yeah.
So how fun that you have these community connections and get out beyond the shop and try to reach and connect with people
Yeah.
and doing what you love, sharing your passion. Truly not just about the clothing, Kari.
No.
It's so much more for you.
It is
And
so
it's
much
so
more.
evident, you guys. I wish you could be here with us. I think her passion will come across on screen.
Yeah.
It is so much more about than the clothes.
It is. It's really about you and what you need as a customer. And it's my goal to help you to feel confident in the body that you have and to help you emphasize and bring out the beautiful pieces that you want, the parts that are lovely about you. And we can help you camouflage some of those other things. All of us have them. We all do.
Mm-hmm.
And I have very few customers that come in that are really pleased with the way that their body is. And so it's our goal to help you to every single person. We want you to walk out of our store feeling good about yourself, feeling good about what the clothing is that you can put on and how you can dress yourself. So I kind of joke with people sometimes, like our business, we sell clothes, but we're really about encouraging women because that's what we do. And we sell clothes so that we can encourage you. That's what we do.
All right, guys, I hope you check out 6th and Broadway, located right here in downtown Alexandria. I know it's one of my personal favorite shops to swing in and see what they've got going on. Always cute stuff, very trendy as well. And the staff there is amazing. So, Kari, thank you again for swinging by.
It's a pleasure.
I hope to have you back after I get that personality. What's it called?
We call it a personality, a style personality. That's what it is.
So intriguing. So there's actually a new study. Actually, I might have the book somewhere.
Oh.
There is a gal in New York who started a fashion psychology
interesting
program.
Yeah.
I'm going to share that with you. I had considered going to school for that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Because the clothing you wear is so much more about the clothing. It speaks, I think, to how you see yourself.
Yes.
How you want the world to see you.
Yes.
And that's what you're doing.
That's exactly what we're doing.
Right here in Alexandria, right here.
Yeah, right here in little old 6th and Broadway.
Without even knowing that there's actually a fashion psychology program. It's a bachelor's program.
Huh.
And this gal named, I think her name is Donna Karen, started it a few years back. So I'll share that with you.
Yeah.
I know you'll find it intriguing.
I would.
So thank you again for joining us here at Grounds for Discussion, located inside Deja Blue, downtown Alexandria.